Hello, you're tuned in to Six Second Critics, the podcast. My name's Kane and I will have my co-host with me as well, John Joe. Today we're going to talk about 15 to 20 minutes of films and 15 to 20 minutes of TV shows as well. This all comes from my 60-second reviews on Instagram. It's at Bourneville Goodness, where we used to review a film in 60 seconds. Now we've elongated it into a podcast. You're welcome.
Yeah, bro. If we've got a police button,
a normal person.
I've got a police button and he's got a combat knife. I'm winning that fight.
Yeah, you don't know, but you can try. You can try. I said the same thing. I said, because I went with somebody who, because it lulled me into a false sense of security of being like, this is what the film's about. Like, come on, just watch this. It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
And then it just.
Boom, welcome to episode 4 of Six Second Critics, the podcast, the People's Film and TV podcast. I'm the host, Kane. With me, I've got John Joseph III. He likes to call himself
John Joe.
Yeah, and just, bro, you never, again, man, I'm always going to let you say your name, man. Who am I to give you that label, you know what I mean? So let's get straight into it. While we start with films, and then we'll go on to series. I've actually got one film. I didn't watch many films this week. Been away, blah, 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 blah. I watched Burnt.
Which one's that?
So it's the one about, it's Bradley Cooper is the lead, and it's about cooking. Came out a while ago. Came out a few years ago, and it was really foggy, as if I've seen it before, but I didn't know the ending. The ending surprised me, but it's a good film, you know. It's a good film.
Is it like, what was that one with the guy from... Is it like Boiling Point?
The one with Stephen Graham?
Yes.
Is it like Boiling Point? It's not, you know. They're both cooking films. Okay. They're both about chefs. They're both about working in the kitchen and making a living and that, but Boiling Point's a lot more about like the mental journey of
gritty
that.
Side of things.
Yeah, you know, classic Stephen Graham. Where with Burnt's are more about like the chef he's like had a not misfortunate life, but he messed about a lot and lost everything he was, being like a Michelin style chef, and then coming back and trying to be better than he ever was. Okay. It's a good film, you know. It's a good film, and I just feel like we don't get films like that anymore. It's a little bit, it's like, I think typically nowadays we get films that are like, you got this kind of plot, or it's an action film, it's a superhero film.
Most of it like action filmed, or they have to be action packed.
Yeah, or it's a romance, and I feel like we've got like 8 kind of films nowadays. Yeah, that film came out. I'm gonna say it's about somewhere between 14 and 16, maybe older, something like that. And it's just Bradley Cooper. He's in London. He's trying to make a massive restaurant, and it's a good watch. I was gonna say it's an easy watch, but it's a good watch. Like you're watching it, you're like, oh, and Bradley Cooper's really good in it as well. And this is well before I think it's before Silver Linings Playbook, and it's before.
I was gonna say this must be the time when he was getting like his big films, because wasn't that be the time for Limitless?
I think it's around that time. You know, it's around that time. So it's like it's a good film, man.
Okay,
it's a good film. 7.7. Yeah,
it's pretty high actually, especially for like a cooking film.
Yeah, but Bradley Cooper was good. It was just an enjoyable watch, man. I was part of myself enjoying the film. The film flew by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, flew by. And for a film where it's not got no massive action, no super sci-fi, no super deep plot. It was just a good narrative, good acting, and just a well-rounded film.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch.
Yeah, man, maybe put it on your list. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you got any films?
I've got quite a few films. I think I spent a lot of my time watching films.
This week, okay.
Yeah. So I watched Trauma.
Yeah. God, okay.
I got what they were going for, and I also think it was, for me, it was very predictable.
Really?
Yeah. The 2 films that you suggested, that Virtuoso and Trauma, very predictable. For like the ending, and like what was going to happen. I was watching, I was like, oh, this is going to happen.
Really?
This is going to happen.
So with Trauma, did I see the end of Trauma coming? Okay. Trauma has quite a complex ending, I think.
Yeah.
How much of that, without giving it away, did you predict?
Quite a bit of it.
Really?
I started to see, I don't want to say similarities, because then you'll probably know what would happen.
Yeah. You start to see the clues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was just certain things. There was one person in particular, which is the doctor.
Yeah.
Who I seen that, and I was like, yeah.
Don't make... Yo, you know what?
It's predictable. And
yeah, I get you. That was... if you want to figure out the ending, that aspect of the film is the easiest way That's the biggest
Yeah,
clue.
if you see that and you actually start to think, oh,
Wait a
this
minute.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So you'll go like, right, okay.
I didn't see it, you know.
Yeah.
I thought it was off, but I didn't see that. I didn't get the clue as what it was. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
thought it was going to go down a different avenue. I thought it was going to be like she was being haunted or something. She did something or whatever. But it wasn't that. Like it was completely different. So it was good for that reason.
Yeah.
But then obviously once I started watching it was very like beat by beat kind of thing.
Okay.
I'd probably give it a 6.
6.
I thought the acting was pretty good. And it was an interesting story. I will say there is a film I want to relate it to, which there's a film called, and I think it's based on a book as well, The Lovely Bones.
Okay. I've heard of it.
It is a really good film. I'd say if you could find that somewhere, definitely watch that. Because that, I think, it's a film that does this the same as Trauma, but in a much better way.
Really?
And a completely different way, and it is just a better story to watch.
So what do you give The Lovely Bones then?
The Lovely Bones is a really good film for me. I think I'd probably give that like an 8.
An 8?
Like an 8.4.
And it's a psychological horror?
Kind of, yes. It's got, I think, Mark Wahlberg's in it.
Really?
Yeah, but like when he was younger.
Do you know how old the film is?
It must be about 2008, 2010 maybe. But it is a really good film.
2008, 2010, that's quite a long time
Yeah,
ago, bro.
but it's a film that holds up. Like I said, it's based off a book anyway. And it's an interesting concept. I would definitely say to give that a watch.
Okay.
Virtuoso, again, beat by beat.
Really?
Very predictable.
Okay.
I got to the end of it and I was like, okay, cool.
I get you. I like what I like about Virtuoso. I like Virtuoso. I liked. You know what's funny? I felt like with the film, I enjoyed it to begin with because I felt like the narration and stuff like that.
I would much prefer the film if it was just that.
That's funny you say that. Okay.
I would have much preferred it if it was literally him
just narrating for him everything.
And like it's going, oh, this is already this job or this is already this. That would have been cool because it would have been interesting to see the different sides of things he has to do and what he has to prepare for, or what he has to think about before he does a certain job.
That's the mind of an assassin, isn't it? We've not really had that. We've seen it. We've seen the lifestyle. We've seen all this different stuff. But to hear his every form done well would have been really interesting. And that's what got me to the film to begin with. And I also like Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins, isn't it?
As the old
the handler.
Yeah, the handler.
He I liked his monologue. I really liked his monologue.
When he's at the
cemetery.
The interesting monologue. Definitely.
Yeah, wicked. But that's what got me into the film. And then, like I said, I kind of lost it. And then I was like, and then, like I said, it rounded itself off, and I was like, okay, you are your own film. But again, I didn't find it like massive. And you didn't find it
same. Like I said, I would have preferred it just to see how he did certain things. The ending
saw that coming.
Wasn't a big hit for me, and I was just kind of like, it makes sense for it to be like that. It was too coincidental for certain things to happen, which obviously I think he realised anyway. I'd probably give it maybe another 6, maybe 6.2.
6.2.
Yeah,
a bit better.
Yeah.
Okay. You see any other films?
Yes, it was the 25th anniversary of the Scream film.
Okay.
And obviously that came out in 1996.
Okay.
I haven't seen it before.
Oh.
I've
seen Scary Movie.
Scream. I said the same thing. I said, because I went with somebody who loves Scream.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen Scary Movie, I knew what was going to happen in the film.
Yeah.
And he was like, they did it beat for beat anyway. They did it so that it matched up to the film.
Yeah.
It was still an enjoyable watch.
Really?
It was interesting seeing some of the kills. I will say this though. For a film, I don't think I've seen a single black actor.
Really?
In the film.
Maybe
that's just because of the time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of 1996.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a single.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. In these slasher films, black people are not staying around. When you hear the door knock, and then the door
opens. I'm out.
Yo, bro. I can't even lie. As hypocritical as this is, if someone came into my house with a knife to stab me, we can have a scrap. Because it wouldn't, you know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah, you want to protect your life.
Yeah, I'm not that. That wouldn't scare me. So I've never found Scream films and then slasher films scary. Paranormal films have always found a little bit more scary because it's the fear of the unknown. So Scream and all that kind of stuff, it's never really appealed to me. Same with Halloween.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's somebody that you can attempt to kill. Kind of thing.
Yeah, bro.
It's like you can at least try and have a fight with.
Yeah, bro. If we've got a police baton,
a normal person.
If I've got a police baton and he's got a combat knife, I'm winning that fight.
You never know, but you can try. You can try.
Yeah. Bro, versus someone that can throw me across the room and I can't see them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, or like can like take up your body, whatever.
Yeah, all sorts of mad stuff.
exactly. That is very true.
So it's a horror film.
I would class it as a horror. I'd class it as like a thriller because.
Is it? Oh, to be fair, there's that whole kind of aspect of trying to figure out who he is. Isn't it? Yeah. To be fair, okay.
I'd class it as a thriller, or it's a slasher, as most people say. It was interesting though. It was good to watch. I think I preferred it more watching it on a big screen.
Okay.
I think if I would have just watched it on the TV, it would have just been or like it would have just been in the background kind of thing. But watching it, having to fully invest my time into it, it was very interesting. The kills were good. The acting was great. It's the guy from. You know, I can't remember the guy's name now. You know the Scooby-Doo films? The guy who plays Shaggy?
Yeah.
It's him in it.
Right.
And obviously he's a great actor in this, but this must have been when he first started out. I'd probably give the film...
That's mad, that. Is Scooby-Doo before or after?
It must be after. It has to be after.
Nah, it's funny going from Scream to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it is, you know.
It's funny, you know. And it's not funny because it's like one silly and one serious. It's the fact that they're both mystery films.
Yeah, like you've got to work something out to find the killer.
He was wicked in he was wicked in Scream, you know.
Let's throw him in this one.
Let's get him in this as well. You know, he's good with the mysteries. That is hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I'd probably give it like a 6.8.
6.8?
I think maybe if I watched the rest of the films, because I think there's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe I would be more invested.
You think you get more invested? I thought like you'd get less.
More invested. I think there is a longer story with Scream, and I think watching the first one, you want to find out what's happened to the next one. Because the way it ends, you kind of like...
Does it lead on?
Where... That's what I don't want to say anything. I don't want to give anything away. If people do want to go and watch it or watch like the Scream films and like a thing.
But there's a narrative across the films.
I think there is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there is.
I would have thought like it gets like with Final Destination, I felt like it would get more boring or it get done.
Yeah, because it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah. And the horror series though, maybe watch a few of the Scream films, put them in there. No, do the horror special.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Maybe watch like the first 3 Scream films because, like I said, I've never actually entertained them. I've only just seen through Scary Movie.
Yeah, like I said, it follows the point of it. Anyway, it's pretty much
everybody knows the mask. Everybody knows the calling and all that stuff. Again, that would never happen now because the ring doorbells and whatnot.
That's very true. No one would let anybody in the house to do anything.
Yeah, nobody would.
It's mainly because of phones and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like, you got to think, 1996, it would have been like the handheld set, so like you'd obviously have to take it off the base. Now you literally just put your phone on.
Is it like, I'm in the house and all shit like that? Yeah.
But it's like a brick phone kind of thing.
Yeah, the big ones.
So
again, that would have been a good weapon.
Like, I've one of those or like one of the Nokias.
Yeah.
Something small.
Mad.
But it wasn't too bad. I would definitely recommend watching it.
Really?
Even if you have seen the Scary Movies, just give it a go. There was one I did mention to you last time, I think, which was The Samaritan.
Okay.
Which is the Sylvester Stallone film.
Oh yeah.
He directed it, I believe, and
starred
he was in it. He was in it. I looked afterwards how old he is now. He's 76.
Wow.
Fair play to him for this film. Fair play for him.
It's quite physically challenging.
In this film and the stunts, what he looked like he was doing, fair play to him because he was doing well.
It's not like when we watched Robert De Niro in Irishman and you could tell he wasn't.
Yeah, no, it's nothing like that. Nothing like that. You could, like, when you see him stamping, it just doesn't like him at all.
It's just soft stamps. Yeah.
But no, I would definitely say to watch that because it's a different take on a superhero film.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a very different take. Especially coming from like his mind, it's completely different.
I am really surprised that at this point there's another take on superhero films.
Yeah.
We've had all the Marvels, the DCs, the silly ones, the serious
the ones that just take the mick out of them.
The boys. Yeah. We've had so many takes on superhero, and you're telling me this is another
This is
take.
a different concept or a different idea to it. Because it's not just being like, everyone's got powers, or like, it's not just being like, anyone can become a superhero.
Don't tell me anymore.
That's what I mean, I'm not going to say anything else. But I would recommend watching it. Just mainly for his acting.
Really?
Because I've thought, with how old he is, he would have just been like a sub-character. And it would have been following somebody else. But it wasn't. It was mainly him being the main character.
Right.
So I would recommend giving that a watch.
Okay.
And that's on Amazon. I'd probably give it 7.2.
7.2?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious, man. I'm really curious to see another take on it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've enjoyed it surprises me as well.
I did like it. It took a while to get me in, like get me invested, but once it got to the point, I was like, okay, yeah, I can watch that.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the scale of, let's see, what would the scale? You've got Marvel on one end, and you've got The Boys on the other, because I think they are the most opposite takes. Of
Yeah, it's
superhero.
very Marvel's can be very kiddish or very not dark enough.
Yeah, family.
Whereas obviously
Your Boys
can be very dark.
Is the dark. Yeah, so there you go. Light to dark. On that, 0 to 10, 0 being The Boys and 10 being Avengers. How dark / light is the film? Is that film?
Probably just past, like not the middle, but just past the middle, closer to The Boys.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So 4.5, 4.
Yeah.
If middle's 5.
In round about there.
Yeah, 4.5.
Like it's not super dark, but it does have its dark elements.
Really?
Kind of thing, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm curious. I'm very curious.
And then there was one thing I was going to suggest,
Yeah.
which I've already seen it, but I think I would recommend it to you.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to like it. Maybe you will like it. Do Revenge.
Do
which is on Netflix.
Revenge.
Do Revenge.
Right.
It's got Maya Hawke in it. I can't remember the other girl's name, which is really bad because she's like the other main character.
Yeah. Maya Hawke is a character from Stranger Things. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it a watch, and then maybe we'll come back and speak about it.
Why do you think I wouldn't like it?
It can be very like a chick flick kind of thing.
Oh, bro. I can't stand chick flicks, you know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It can be,
Mm.
but it also does have a different aspect. This is why I don't want to give much away.
Okay.
Because I know it's because you've not seen it.
Mm.
I think it will be interesting to see where it goes, kind of thing.
What are the? I don't need to tell me the plot, but what are the genres? So is it action, thriller, sci-fi, crime?
If I say anything, that'll give it away too much.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't give me any of the genres.
I can't. Because if I say it, then you'll go, once you're watching it, you'll realise and you'll be like,
Right.
oh, this is why he said this and this is going to happen.
So it's a film, they're chasing someone, what are they chasing? It's a sci-fi, oh, it must be an alien. Oh, it's a ghost.
So along those lines, if I
I
said
get
something like that, you would get it.
I'd
straight
figure
away.
out the ending.
Yeah.
Because it would give, that's the clue to why it's that.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Do Revenge.
Yes.
Do Revenge.
Yes. I'm sure it's on like the top 10
On Netflix?
on Netflix.
Okay.
I'm sure it's on like 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's your rating?
I'm going to give it an 8.
Whoa!
I'm going to give it an 8. Because it lulled me into a false sense of security of being like, this is what the film's about. Like, come on, just watch this. It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
And then it just completely shut out and was like, oh, okay, damn.
So up until that point, what was the film? Before you were like, damn, okay.
A girl getting, what would I say, like messed over or like stabbed in the back kind of thing. And then like I was watching it and I was like, oh, okay, this isn't great. And then it just completely different.
So what was you, up until it got completely different, what was the rating you had in mind for the film?
If it would have carried on the same kind of, her
Plot
getting back to like her status or whatever, I probably would have said maybe like a 5 or a 6.
Wow.
But then with, I think Maya Hawke probably
shift.
made the film because of like the character she played and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
8.
Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't.
8.
Yeah.
An 8 for a chick flick. This is
chick flick-esque.
Okay, fine. Okay, that's better. It's better.
Yeah.
I normally dislike everything about this film, but luckily it's not everything.
Yeah.
It's just the style.
Just
All right.
some of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Any more for movies?
I think that's all for movies.
That's all for movies?
Yeah.
Excellent. That's it for movies. Stay around and we'll go on to series.
Yo, what's going on, people? You are halfway through the episode and I hope you're enjoying it. And thank you for listening. I came here to speak to you today about feedback. That is super important to us. We are the People's Film and TV Podcast. And we really need to know what you're enjoying and to make sure that we are giving you what you want. And we can't do that unless you tell us. But again, thank you for listening. If you want to tell us what you think, you can get to us on the TikTok and the Instagram at the 60 Second Critics, the podcast. Or if you want to email us, it's 60scthepodcast@outlook.com. Thank you very much. See you later.
All right, welcome back. Let's get into series. So I've got one for you and that I just came across. The Third Day. Heard of that before?
I don't think I have, no.
So it's on the HBO, I believe.
Okay, that'll be why then.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's on HBO and it is Jude Law.
Okay.
He plays a father that's just lost his son and he suffers from bouts of psychosis. And then he finds out that there's more to the story of his son and how he's lost him. And it's an absolute mind F.
Really?
Bro, I've seen some mine Fs. I've had some big mine Fs. This one's up there. Like, you know what? This film was so disorientating.
Is it a film or a series?
Series, sorry.
Series, right,
Series,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
This series is so disorientating. So disorientating.
Really?
Bro.
I can understand if it is them trying to obviously bring psychosis onto any screen. Like so many people struggle to do it, and they take it so far like left.
Yeah, bro. It's yeah. I don't want to give too much away, but the whole time you're watching this stuff and you're like, okay, that was real. And then you go, okay, that can't be real. And then you're like, wait, that wasn't real and that is? Like, and then you just go, after you start doubting yourself.
So you're questioning yourself, which makes it even worse.
But this is it, bro, because bouts of psychosis. So you just constantly like, what? But there is a clear narrative and it makes sense, but you just don't know. And then it just, yeah, man. That's how I felt about it. And I almost felt like it was too disorientating at points. Because it kind of left me going, I don't know. I kind of want like, you sit back after the film, like Inception, you sit back and you go, his sons he did get to see his kids.
Like you get to the end and you're like, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm at with the film. Like it could have been this way or it could have been that way. But I think a lot of things do that so that people will argue about it.
Yeah.
And people will come together and go, well, I thought it was this. And somebody else goes, well, no, it was definitely this.
Yeah. So that kind of left, I think that actually pulled my rating down a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, man.
So it's too confusing is what you're saying?
I don't want to use the word confusing because I feel like for me, if it was confusing, I would be like, oh, I don't know what was going on in the film. But I do know in the film series. I do know what was going on in the series. It's just it's unclear
what actually happens.
Yeah, there's no clues. I got no clues. So then I'm kind of going, was I right? Was I not right? And then I go, and you know what I mean?
If I watch this, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it
Because
I don't like the idea of watching something or investing time in something and not getting to an end goal.
And that's the problem, in my opinion. That's why I put my rating down.
Right, okay.
But visually, beautiful.
Okay.
Really good, visually. Acting, good. And as much as I've just said it was really confusing, good plot.
Right, okay.
Because it was well wrote. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think it set out to be what it is. And I might go, I didn't enjoy what it was, but it did what it should do.
Yeah, and so many people are probably going to watch it going, oh no, this was great because of that reason.
Exactly. In the end, for me, it finished on a 6.3. For me.
That's pretty good. But you would have thought with something like that, especially if it's visually appealing.
When so much is right.
Yeah.
That just pulled my rating down. I think if I got a firmer close, I would have felt differently. Yeah. For me. You might you might figure it out and go, oh no, this is it. This is this, and that's why, and it's an 8 or it's a 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you might figure out and go, yeah, I figured it.
It didn't get anywhere with it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'll definitely have that one because I do like stuff that's like a psychological feel to it.
You said that you were going to watch Cobra Kai.
I did watch Cobra Kai.
I'm curious as how to hear this because I love Karate Kid.
And you never watched Cobra Kai?
Never watched it. Not a single thing. Because when it first came out, I was like, why are you trying to bring Karate Kid back? They're messing with the legend.
I don't think that's true.
Bro, review Cobra Kai. 5 seasons, right?
5 seasons
See
now,
them all.
and I believe they are looking at doing another season, which is maybe going to incorporate. Have you ever seen Karate Kid 3 with the girl, Hilary Swank? I think it's Hilary Swank. So they're meant to be bringing her back.
I think I've only seen the first Karate Kid, bro.
Wow. See, maybe I'm more invested in Karate Kid then, because I've seen all of them.
I feel like, did we need more than Karate Kid 1?
Yeah.
You're going to say that after watching 3 films and 5 seasons.
Yeah. Because
the quality's not dropped.
With Cobra Kai, it's completely different.
Right,
it's a different kind of feel to it.
Right.
I think most people who've watched Cobra Kai will understand it's the fact of 2 sides to a story.
Oh, right.
It's that kind of aesthetic to it. So you know how you watch Karate Kid?
I have seen Karate Kid too, actually.
Yeah?
Because he starts fighting at the other camp, doesn't he?
Yes.
And the other camp's really brutal and he hates it.
Yeah,
and all sorts
he starts fighting with Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Is that okay? Right.
It tells a different story. So obviously, if you've watched the first Karate Kid, I think if anyone's watched the first Karate Kid, they follow not Danny.
It's done. They're not done.
Is it Danny? What's the main kid?
I thought his name was Dan.
Is it-
In Karate Kid.
Let's go Dan. That might be wrong. We'll just put like a thing here that says his actual name is. Everyone thinks that he's obviously the good guy. Everyone thinks that he's in the right and he's getting bullied. This gives you a different aspect to it. This series now goes to Johnny and is being like, no, it is a bad side for him as well. He's basically seen this new kid come to town, this new kid start to hit on his girlfriend and all this stuff. That's what caused all these arguments.
That's an interesting spin on it.
Exactly, and loads of people have always said that since the first Karate Kid, and this has actually followed that route and gone with it. I believe from the first season to this new season, they've still stuck with the martial arts side of things, and the martial arts side is great.
Cool.
Like it's it can be very brutal depending on which season you're in, or it can just be the whole learn how to do it, which is what you get from the first Karate Kid.
Of course.
The whole wax on thing, and you get a finalization of obviously Miss Maggie dying and stuff.
Oh, really?
Which they go down that avenue, which is really interesting.
Is that a spoiler?
No, because you know anyway, and obviously because he passed away in real life, I can't remember the guy's name, which is really bad. I should know his name. It's not a spoiler. It's definitely not a spoiler. Okay. Think about how long it's been and how old.
Nah, to be fair, I've seen pictures of Dan, and he looks like he's in his 40s.
Yeah,
and Mr. Melgi was in his 60s.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it makes sense that he would die.
Yeah,
but did we know it was going to be in the series?
Everyone knew. Everyone knew.
We'll let you off with that. It should be 4, but we'll let you off.
Everyone knew. I would give from start to finish, and especially the newest season. I'm probably going to give it a solid 8.
Okay.
A solid 8, just because of the fighting. The storylines are very interesting, and I do like how they incorporate the old Karate Kid into this.
Okay.
And how there is speculation that they're going to bring
Will Smith.
Will Smith or Jaden Smith into it. From
the new one,
one with Jack Chan.
So you're saying that they could all be in the same universe? It's not a
Pretty
remake.
much.
Could do that, couldn't they?
That's what they are saying, because it should be, because there's a reference to the fighting tournament.
Really?
Obviously, Jaden Smith was in it and whatever.
Wow.
But yeah, I'd recommend it.
Really?
Even if you just want to watch it just for the fighting side of things.
Let's talk about length. Sorry. So, how many episodes per season, and how long are the episodes?
You're looking about 10 episodes a season, and they are 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay. I was going to say 45 minutes plus, I'd never entertain it, but
no, it's
10 episodes of 30 is not that bad.
I believe that as with most things, the first episode is around 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Just because
set it up, the pilot. Cool.
It's interesting seeing Cobra Kai in a different light, and that all changing. There's so many things that happen. I just don't want to give too much away, because there's so many people that are in it that you just don't expect.
Just really happy, man. You give us a full explanation of Cobra Kai, something that I've always knew of. It's a YouTube show, isn't it?
No.
What?
No.
What's it? What is kind of? I've always seen it advertised on YouTube.
No, it's Netflix.
It's you can watch it on YouTube. Is it
always
on Netflix?
I'm sure it's Netflix original.
That's the first thing that put me off. I was like, why are YouTube doing shows?
No, I think YouTube do it to show the fighting scenes, because it's mainly a kid being bullied, and he starts to learn this karate, just like the original Karate Kid did.
Yeah.
I don't think it was YouTube. I'll have to double check that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your rating?
A solid 8.
Solid 8.
Yeah.
Solid 8.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Cobra Kai, curious.
Yeah.
Something that I've got, give me a moment. What we got here is, how are you doing on Fakes?
Oh, I finished Fakes. I forgot that one.
Yeah.
I did finish it. It was very interesting. It was different. I think, or maybe it's not different. Maybe it's just an American thing that's they do all this fake ID stuff, or they do all this.
What they do in America, because they can't drink for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. We could start drinking at 18. Which I feel like, okay, a lot of people probably drink earlier than that, but that's not a long wait. But 21's a long way.
Yeah.
From once you get to 15, 16, typically people want to start drinking.
Yeah, or they go places to go and drink.
Think about having another 5 years till you got a drink on that. That's double secondary school.
And most people drink during college.
Exactly.
They can't do that there. They've got to wait until after all
20, that's it. So, in completion, how do you feel about it?
I thought it was really good. I will say it was really good, but I wouldn't say much better than that.
Okay.
I liked the fact of those two actors really went well together. They both bounced off each other.
Good chemistry.
Which was good chemistry.
Well casted them.
They were really well casted. I think they were very different, and also the narration, the narrative of it, or them each episode it was one
Someone
person.
different.
I liked that as well.
It's not always just those two as well, is it?
No, I think there was one episode where it's somebody else.
It's the guy who, it's just the guy that they meet.
Yeah, there was one episode based on him, yeah. And then coming to the end of it, it did annoy me where it ended.
Okay.
Because I wanted a
I've
finalisation.
got like an episode or two.
Have you
left.
not finished?
No, I've got like an episode or two
Right.
left.
I wanted something to actually happen. I think
Mm.
they've more left it on for another season.
Really?
Yeah.
Here we go now. Oh, wait till next time, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Like
like
it builds
man.
it up so quick,
Don't like it.
and then it just goes, but now you gotta wait.
Awful. When a series finishes, give me a good finale and be smart enough to think of something new to bring into the show.
Yeah.
Don't go, we spent this whole season getting you ready for season 2, which is going to lead into season 3. Because then I'm just never, I'm edging. I'm never going to get anywhere.
You just stop, you just think, you know what, no, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep investing my time into a series for you guys, and then it go, no. We've not reached the final.
Yeah. Out of 10?
7.
Wow. I think that's quite high.
Maybe a 6.5. It's that ending that's really like, it's so good and then it just drops off.
So 6.5, 7. Are you finishing on 6.8? 6.7? What's your final score?
I'll go in between then. I'll go 6.8.
6.8.
But I will say, if it does come that they do make another season, because it's always difficult with Netflix, a lot of times they just cancel things.
Mm-hmm.
If they do come to another season, and I'm not happy with how they've start the next season, like if it just gets to a conclusion, I will bring it down, because then you've clearly not set up season 2 well enough. You've just they've rushed it, and then just thought, I know, we'll sort out next season.
I can't believe I felt like there wouldn't be this much story to tell for it to go on to a season 2.
Yeah. I think the last episode gets very convoluted and gets very long-winded.
Right.
And you get to it, and then it gets to the end, and you're thinking, oh, it's nearly done.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Curious. At the moment, I'm only on a 6.1.
Really?
Yeah. I think I like the episode to episode thing, and I like the acting. And the plot's okay, but I struggle with teeny stuff. It needs to be deeper. It needs to be heavy. The stakes need to be higher.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I struggle with teeny stuff. It's like I watch something, I'll be like, I watch House of Dragon, which we'll discuss after that. And I'll be like, oh, this house, and oh, she's going to be with this person's cousin, and
like
the island.
It matters.
Bro, it's
big.
big.
Change.
This girl goes into school.
Yeah.
She has her first period. It's been a shit show. Like, it's just not big enough for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
We're not saying having your first period isn't bad. Obviously, that is not something we want to talk about.
Bro, it's not as big as...
No, but
let's
just not get into that.
your dad murdering your brother in front of your sister.
Right, okay, yeah.
Let's be honest.
Okay.
Okay, let me flip it. You go into school, you got loads of stuff going on, you're getting bullied at school. It's just not as big.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter in the long...
Yeah,
like,
the stakes, it's just like, I just like bigger stakes.
Too small.
That's it. I think that's the problem with me with teen stuff. And I think that might be a me thing where I always look at it and go, it's not that deep. And that's my personal take.
Yeah.
But obviously, people who are in that world, that's big to them.
It is big to them because it's the time for them.
That's their world. It's their world. So that's why maybe I just don't relate to it. Put it that way. House of Dragon, since I just mentioned it. House of the Dragon.
What episode have you watched?
I'm up to 5 or 6.
Right.
You said you're up to like 10.
No. It's only like 6 now. 6 or 7. I think...
I'm only an episode behind them.
Yeah, you're like an episode or 2 behind. I don't know if I'll watch it again.
mid plot, or no, mid series, like cancellation is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You can't finish the series. You don't think you'll finish the series.
I don't know if I want to. The most recent episode I watched, I was on my phone the whole time.
I love it at the moment.
The episodes before that, I was fully invested.
That's how I felt.
This most recent one, I was just on my phone. I didn't care what was happening.
Really?
I was bored.
Is this because of a massive plot point? Massive change?
It's a massive plot change, or I don't want to say too much because you'll see it and you'll go, "Oh, right, this is what I mean."
I got a funny feeling of what it is. I don't react because I'll read your reaction. I got a funny feeling of what it is, and I think it's something that I mentioned already. But we'll see. Maybe not then. Okay.
No.
We'll see.
No. At this point, if I was to watch it, the only person I'd be watching it for is Matt Smith.
Right, okay.
And that's the only reason.
Right.
Because I just don't care about anybody else now.
Right.
And once you watch the newest episode, you'll realise why.
I think I know what you're saying now. I know what you mean. I think I know what you're saying.
And I think a lot of people
have.
I think a lot of people have probably seen it, if you're following the news for like House of Dragon, they've been putting it out anyway. They've been throwing it out saying this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Up until this point, I've been really happy with it. Now I'm just...
So, previously, before that episode, what was your rating?
My rating was a good, like, 8.9.
8.99.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. And what is it now?
After this most recent episode, it's brought it down to a 5. That's so bad to say.
4-point drop.
Yeah.
John Joe, you have to finish the season, you know.
I don't want to.
I know, but,
I don't want
but to drop 4 points and you just to go, like, it might improve.
But no, because they'd have to completely change what they've just done in this episode. That's the thing.
John Joe's favourite character died, you know.
It's not even that.
How could they do that to her?
It's not even like that. But
Don't tell me, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. I'll watch it just for the fact that I've already watched a couple episodes.
Yeah.
But I guarantee I'll be on my phone the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got 2 more things to discuss. I've got... Which one should I go with first? I watched Arcane League of Legends.
Oh, you got around to watching it?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Yo, thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I won't talk about it too much because I do think we're open up to the anime side of things.
Yeah, and that's just could come in the future. We'll have to see what everyone's saying. Like.
But I would briefly say I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Fantastic plot.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the animation. Animation was incredible.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would have liked different, but it couldn't do differently, is I would have liked it to last longer. 10 episodes, 45 minutes to an hour.
But that's long for an animation.
I know, so I watch a lot of anime, and typically in the episode length is long, but the actual length of the series is short. Because the 10 episodes in anime is like 30,
24
50,
episodes.
60, 100, 1,000.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I really enjoyed it, but I could have done with a little bit more. I got 8.7. 2 more minutes. 1 more minute. That's fine. No problem. Got one more thing to discuss. One more thing to discuss, which is Dharma.
Yes. I don't want to bring too much to it because I think it's so annoying. I like what they did for the victims, like families and stuff, because they were very focused on the victims. But I feel it's just like a money making like thing, and you shouldn't be doing that on people who have died.
Really?
Yeah. And there's so many people that have said the families have always asked for anything like this not to be done.
Really?
Because they'd rather just forget about it.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong, Evan Peters' acting was great.
Yeah.
And knowing obviously about the story and everything, and it being so directed on, the families and stuff was amazing.
Okay.
But I don't want to give it too much publicity because it's just causing more notoriety for him.
Man.
If you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Well, what's your rating?
It was really good. I probably would give it like an 8.8, just for the fact of his acting and everything.
How it was done.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I like how they led on to like, John Wayne Gacy and stuff.
Yeah.
The psychological side of things. I do think my favourite episode was...
I've not seen it all, by the way.
You've not finished it, have you?
No.
There's a guy called Tony.
Yeah.
When you see that episode, you've probably not seen it yet.
Yeah.
When you see that episode, I really like that episode, just because it was different.
Wicked.
What are you thinking up to now?
It's an 8.1 for me right now. But I'm only halfway through. But I'm just enjoying the acting and how it's styled. The darkness of the hue.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's the same as the Extremely Wicked one with Zac Efron.
Oh, yeah.
That one was really interesting about Ted Bundy.
Oh, mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would definitely recommend people to watch it just to know about certain things. Or
Yeah,
maybe get
to learn
a better
about it.
understanding about it.
Yeah, man. Wicked.
Cool.
All right, we'll leave it there.
Cool. Sounds good.
There you go, guys. You have been listening or watching Six and Critics, the podcast. Thank you for being involved in this episode and listening to it. Hit us up on all the socials you can see below.